Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on this episode of Sonar Fishing, let's go over the Opens schedule. The Bassmaster Opens are coming up pretty soon, the end of next month, February, and we've got 9 tournaments that we're fishing this year. So we're part of the EQ, the Bassmaster Opens Elite Qualifying circuit, I guess if you want to call it that. So our goal is to make the Elite Series, and to do that, we have to qualify through the Opens. And honestly, when they announced the schedule for 2023, I was just kind of like, eh. It just wasn't like, it wasn't knocking my socks off when I first heard it. In fact, it was kind of a weird schedule. We don't start in Florida, we end in Florida, and we've got a bunch of fisheries that we haven't been to, that I've never been to before, and tournaments generally don't go to. So it was a very unique schedule. But as time has gone on and we get closer and closer until the first tournament, I get more and more excited about the schedule, honestly, because of that reason. There's a lot of unknowns. I think that this schedule is going to force people to just go fishing instead of doing a lot of research, and I think that that is going to fit my style very, very well. So I'm really excited about this schedule. But let's go over each lake on this open schedule for 2023. The very first one is going to be March 2nd through the 4th. And that brings up another point. We don't start until a lot later than most tournament circuits. I'm used to starting in January, like the second or third week of January, but the Opens don't start until, the end of February and the beginning of March, which is kind of good because I'm still waiting on my boat right now. So, but Eufaula, the 2nd through the 4th, so Lake Eufaula is a fishery that I've been to multiple times. That one is going to be a really good one. I haven't really been there that time of year. So, the pre-spawn is not a time period that I've fished Eufaula, but I think it's going to be a really good one for, doing what you want to do. You can either fish offshore, especially brush piles are a big deal on Eufaula. That's definitely going to be a big player, is that brush pile bite. But I'm sure that the shallow water guys like myself are also going to be able to find really good fishing opportunities to apply our strengths, flipping, pitching, throwing a chatterbait, swim jig, that sort of thing up shallow. I think that that's going to play a big role. So Eufaula, I think the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want there. Eufaula in general is just a really good versatile fishery where you can make it fit your style. All right, so that's the first one. The second one on the schedule is April 13th through the 15th on Toledo Bend. So Toledo Bend is not a fishery that I've fished a tournament on before. We've filmed some episodes of Sweetwater out there. It is very close to Sam Rayburn, where we've started each season for the last 4 years on the Pro Circuit. I think, no, we didn't go there in 2021. Did we? I can't remember. I think we started there every single year, the 4 years that I fished the Pro Circuit. But, Rayburn has always been a lake that I excel at, and Toledo Bend is very similar to Rayburn. For them being so close, there's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. So I don't know how it's going to set up, and if if the things that I do on Rayburn that I always tend to do well on are going to translate. But the one thing that is going to be a lot different than my time on Rayburn is the time period that this event is being held. So it's like mid-April. So mid-April, it's probably going to be a good spawning bite. There's probably going to be a lot of fish shallow. So to me, that South Texas fishing already fits my style, but for it to be in kind of the April time period, I think is going to be a really, really fun event. So looking forward to that one. It's another one that you can probably do a lot of things, but because it's like probably smack dab right in the spawn or that time period, and I don't know, I'll have to keep up with the weather. I think that April is still kind of the heat of the spawn for Toledo Bend, but it may happen earlier. I'm not sure. I'll have to figure that out. But If it is like, you know, after the core spawning period on Rayburn or Toledo Bend, then, you know, that's going to open up possibilities for offshore fishing and that being big. But if it's in the heat of the spawn, I think it's going to be a shallow bite. So I like that one a lot too. The third one is going to be on Bugs Island in Virginia, the 3rd through the 5th of May. So this one's also, I think, going to be another shallow fishing event. Bugs Island, I've never been to before, and I haven't seen a whole lot of tournament coverage other than the old like 90s, you know, tournaments. And so there's not a whole lot of information on it, which is great. I really just want to kind of go into it, you know, not blind, but you know, flexible. And so this is one that I'm really excited about because I love going to new fisheries. And I think that time period is also going to be a really good shallow water bite, you know, spawning, that sort of thing. I know it will because we're in the same kind of region here at Chickamauga, and that first week of May is just absolutely, you know, bonkers for shallow fishing. So looking forward to Bugs Island. It looks on Google Earth and my Navionics app to be very similar to, you know, as far as the terrain, to some of the other lakes that I've fished, you know, such as Clark's Hill in that area. And so I am looking forward to that one big time. All right, so after Bugs Island, we've got the Wheeler Lake event, which is the 18th through the 20th. That one is on the TVA. It's going to be a ledge bite. It's mid-May, mid-late May. That is definitely going to be prime time for ledge fishing. You know, that's when the fish are starting to transition from the shoreline to those offshore ledges and offshore areas. So that one I'm excited about. I don't get to fish Wheeler all that often. I haven't fished out on Wheeler actually for about 10 years now. And so even though I feel like I have a good understanding for Tennessee River fishing, the great thing about this one is I don't have a lot of history on Wheeler fishing offshore. So I get to go figure it out. And I don't have a lot of preconceived notions about how the event's gonna go. So I'll be able to fish very flexible and use just my, you know, my TVA, you know, experience to do well in that event, I feel like. But it definitely is probably going to be a ledge event on that one. All right, and then the next one is one that I'm really super stoked about. This one is going to be in June 15th through the 17th. This is going to be Eufaula, Oklahoma. That's right, we've got 2 Lake Eufaulas on the schedule, and this is a lake that I've passed over many times traveling through Oklahoma and have never got to fish, but I always, you know, it's always one of those ones that your wife has to remind you to keep your eyes on the road because you've got your, I go over these causeways and I'm just looking at all these flooded bushes and everything and just, you know, enamored by it. And so I passed over it. I've had daydreams about fishing this lake, but I have never fished it. And it looks like it's just a shallow water power fisherman's dream. Dirty water, all the satellite imagery I see is just dirty water. There's a ton of brush in the water, ton of bushes. There's a lot of different causeways, you know, with riprap, things like that. There's so much going on that I think is gonna fit my style. I'm definitely gonna enjoy fishing Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma, that's for sure. And as far as being in the middle of June, you know, I think that's going to leave things wide open. You know, there's going to be fish everywhere. You know, during the summertime, that's when you can catch fish just about anywhere, from inches deep to, you know, out offshore in the deepest part of the lakes. So Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma is going to be a lot of fun. And then after that, we start going up north. We've got July 20th through the 22nd. We've got the Bassmaster Open on the St. Lawrence River. So the St. Lawrence River is definitely not like in my core wheelhouse. Primarily, you know, the smallmouth are going to win that event for sure. And probably smallmouth are going to dominate, you know, the majority of that check range, that top 40. Now, you can fish largemouth on the St. Lawrence River, and the largemouth are so much fun. The only problem with the largemouth is that the smallmouth is getting so good from year to year that, you know, if you're catching largemouth, you're probably maxing out at about 20 pounds, and, you know, on a really, really good day, and you're gonna need, you know, 20 pounds at least to stay in the game, you know, stay in the hunt. You're probably gonna need 22 pounds a day to, you know, stay in that top 30 or whatever. It's ridiculous out there. So I'm probably gonna end up fishing smallmouth, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, there's nothing more to say about the St. Lawrence River. It is a blast. It's just the hardest part about that tournament is the fact that everybody's gonna catch them. Everybody in that field is going to catch probably a limit, and they're gonna catch you know, some decent fish. It's just so full of big fish. So it's gonna be one that's gonna take 25 pounds a day to win, and depending on if you can fish the lake or if you have to stay in the river, you know, it may be if you can fish the lake, it's definitely gonna be a slugfest. If you just have to fish the river, it's still definitely going to be a slugfest. You just might not be seeing a lot of those 25-pound bags. It's going to be more in the 22 to 23-pound range. But anyways, I'm looking forward to that one for sure. All right, so the next one is going to be kind of late summer, early fall, September, Watts Bar, the 14th through the 16th. So that one, I hardly ever get to go out on Watts Bar. I live 30 minutes away from the dam, and I have been out there probably about a dozen times, you know, since I've lived here. But I have fished a tournament out there, but I haven't fished many tournaments out there. So it's going to be another one where I can apply my know-how for Tennessee River fishing, and it's not like I have a ton of history there, so I can, again, fish loose, fish the moment, and just be flexible and spontaneous out there, which I think is really important in tournaments. So looking forward to that one. It's a really tough time of the year for sure. And then after that, we've got Lake of the Ozarks, the 22nd through the 24th of September. That's going to be another one I've never been to before. Looking at it on Google Earth, there's no shortage of docks. It looks like it's going to be a dock fishing tournament for the most part, and I'm really excited about that. Probably going to be fishing a jig a lot. I know that from tournament coverage of the past, and so I'm looking forward to finally getting to Lake of the Ozarks, because I've fished a lot of Ozark lakes, such as Table Rock, Bull Shoals, and I always tend to do well at those events. And then last but not least, the tournament that I was talking about at the beginning of this video, we are ending the series at the Harris Chain of Lakes down in Florida, October 12th through the 14th. So very different than all the other schedules that I've fished before. You know, usually we're done in July or August. Like the Pro Circuit, you were done. The championship was generally like late July or August, and so you'd have the rest of the season off at that point. But you know, ending in Florida is very different. Usually we start January or February in Florida, and then end, you know, somewhere up north. But doing a tournament in October in Florida is definitely cool, because I have a lot of experience in Florida. I lived there for, you know, about a decade. And so I've fished it all throughout the seasons. I can't honestly say that I've fished the Harris Chain that time of year, but I have a lot of experience in Florida during October. So I should have a lot of fun there. It's going to be quite a bit different than the spawning events that we normally fish in Florida, but I'm really excited for kind of that change up. I need to be able to see some of these Florida lakes at a different period of time and revisit, you know, the type of situations that I used to fish in when I was going to University of Central Florida. So Harris Chain in October is interesting, but I'm really going to enjoy that. But anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on the Bassmaster Open schedule. This is one that is super eclectic. We're going to a lot of different fisheries. We don't have any like major spotted bass fisheries, but we've got great largemouth and smallmouth lakes across the country, and I definitely think it's going to be a really good test for, you know, the EQ anglers. The guys that finish in the top 9, which hopefully I'll be one of them at the end of the year, they are definitely going to be some of the most versatile anglers out there. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think about the schedule that we're going to be fishing this year on the Opens, and make sure you drop a comment below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm going to see you out on the water. Take care, guys.